Well, hello everybody. Welcome back. Thank you for clicking on the video. My name's Joel, and this is A Stable Life. It's good to have you guys back here with us. Today you are joining me on Monday, which normally is a pretty uneventful day. In fact, I don't even film on Mondays. However, today the weather is beautiful outside, so we're gonna try to capitalize on that and see if we can get a lot of manure. See if we can get a lot of manure spread today. So that is gonna be the goal for today. Today there's also another special event taking place, which is the solar eclipse. So we're going to be spreading manure during the solar eclipse. Nothing really eventful or crazy. Matthew seems to want to talk to me. Hang on. Okay. He had a funny joke that I couldn't understand what he was saying, so I don't know what he said to me. I was just saying solar eclipse, that's right. I'm kind of curious to see if the solar eclipse has any effect on the horses, so we'll see that, if that has anything to do with anything. And also just what it looks like. It's kind of cool. So, well, it's actually not kind of cool, it's just awesome. It is cool, you know, just something so awesome, so calculated, so precise. We'll see all of this good stuff, but it all starts with us heading out into the pastures, getting everything together and running. We're sending out the big tractor first and the spreader. There we go. I like to make sure my gear shifts are nice and smooth, like that. That's good. It's warm today, guys. It's 60 degrees. 60 degrees. Oh man, I'm happy. Well, it was sunny. It's getting overcast now, so kind of a bummer. Kind of was hoping for a clear day. A big reason why I'm hopeful that we are able to get a lot of manure spread today is because it seems that the new pattern of weather that we are in is nothing but rain. So we've got another 3-day rain event coming up that's going to start again Tuesday night and move into Wednesday. Now, the last weather event was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This rain event is appearing to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then it looks like it's going to do the exact same thing next week. But the ground's drying out really fast, so let's see what we can get done today, huh? I'm kind of excited. It's really warm in here. I need to open up another vent. There we go. Okay, so we are at the bottom of the hill. Here's our manure pile. Now, you actually saw all of this getting cleaned up. And look at this. This is actually hard enough I can walk on. Ooh, maybe not a good idea. So we got to get all that, but the problem is that behind it, as you can see, it's kind of slanted in, so we have some water that is right here. This is water that is captured, that's come from the pile, so it doesn't go into the streams or anything like that, and naturally evaporates. So all of this is actually really fertile soil that we're going to scoop, but we're not going to spread this. This is just good soil. So I'm going to scrape all this up and pile it. Here's my soil pile right here, and that way none of it gets lost, and we have to patch any areas maybe that have erosion that are taking place or that we need to put down so that we can plant some grass. Really anything that we need the soil for, we'll put right there. And then once we have a good bedding, then I can get in here and actively scoop into the pile. So we've got a lot of terraforming, not a lot, but a little, that'll all be done with my tractor. So let's make the walk and get the tractor. I gotta fill it up with diesel, make sure it's good to go. I really wish I didn't have to do that, but you know, hey, it's part of the process, and the weather is the weather. Now, thankfully, tomorrow is a beautiful day. It's looking like we're gonna have a nice, gorgeous day tomorrow. Just like this. Just look at how gorgeous it is today. Tomorrow, they're saying the temperature is gonna be in the 70s, which is awesome. However, I'm not going to be able to work on manure at all tomorrow because we have another big job that we're doing tomorrow that also requires tractor work. And Gavin, make sure you click that subscribe button. Keeps you up to date on what's going on at our stable because it's going to be a good and exciting time. We made it. Got the tractor here. I'm surprised how dry it is actually down here considering all the rain. The horses are actually acting pretty much normal. All of them are completely fine. We've got, my understanding, an hour and a half till the solar eclipse happens. I don't have any special apparel, so I can't really look directly at it. But what I could do is I could point at it with the camera and then hold the camera really close to my face so I could see through the camera. So that's my plan. Anyway, let's clean all this up and get this looking better. Pile that over there. And in the meantime, we're gonna get this loaded over here. I think we're gonna do a time lapse. And we'll put it on the tractor. Let me get some music. Who doesn't love good music? smooth. No surprise, this is the heaviest manure of it all because there's just a lot of moisture that's just packed into this. This is why I did not do it the day that I had Petey with me. Pushing me down the hill pretty good, that's for sure. Oh my goodness, I saw a frog. That's exciting. Woo-wee. Given the 120 all she, well, we're working her good, we'll put it that way. Now this thing's beeping at me. Def something. Ugh, modern, newfangled technology. I don't know what that means. I gotta look in the operator's manual on this one. Thankfully it's with me. I don't know what that means. That's definitely something with def fluid. Def too hot, the temperature high, def too high, maybe, I don't know. Good thing the operator's manual's right here. Oh no, that's the radio. This whole thing's for the radio? This whole book's for the radio. Alright, so let's go to warning and advisory symbols, page 358, 355, 357, 358. Oh, here we go. Low soot accumulation, forced regeneration not required. If the following signals are displayed on the dashboard, it is necessary to proceed as follows. Average soot accumulation, automatic regeneration on. So that just means that it is automatically regenerating. Oh, so nothing's broken, everything's okay. I should continue as everything's fine. You'd think it would just say on to let me know that it's, you know, running, but who am I to tell them? Yeah, so long as it's not performance limitation, it's just automatic regeneration activation. And I am approaching a hill, so see if we can, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna put this back the correct way. And I have to keep the throttle up while it's regenerating. I must say, I love that they have a little thing for you to keep your operator's manual in the tractors. Wow, this is heavy. Pushing me a little bit down the hill, but it's all right. Okay, now we're gonna head to the outside of the field. Where was I? Oh, I have no comment on the diesel particulate stuff, modern tractors and engines. I recognize a lot of people have opinions on that stuff, and you guys are welcome to debate that amongst yourselves in the comment section. I'm more than happy to read about it. But if you were to ask me for my opinion on things, I don't have an opinion on that stuff. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna drop it down. Gonna open our floodgate, lower our throttle, turn on our PTO. There we go. We're spreading manure. Woohoo! I don't know why I get so excited about this, but it's a fun part of the job. What can I say? And something that's important to note, all of the manure that we've spread, it's only been on one field. That's it. One small section, because we do strips, so it's actually been on one strip of a field. We haven't even gotten to like any other sides of the field or anything like that. Now we're putting down a pretty heavy blanket, but that's just where things are, how things work. It takes a lot of manure to fertilize a field, which if you have a lot of animals, that's a good thing. A lot of animals and not a lot of property, this will work out good in your favor. Even though the spreader doesn't look like it's too full, this is definitely my heaviest load of manure yet. You can just feel it by the way that the tractor reacts to shifts and everything. Wow. You gotta be careful when you're going down these hills. Nice and slow. Look at that RPM meter going up. I have no throttle. All engine braking. Come to almost a complete stop here as we turn in. We gotta be attentive to our back tire slippage, making sure we don't jackknife. Upshift kind of pull us out of it. And there we are. All right, let's get this spread. Forgotten to take my batteries with me to the tractor, so I had to come back up to the horse stable to get my batteries, and while I was up here, I thought I'd show you what all the horses are doing. So, update on solar eclipse. There's the sun. No solar eclipse yet. but we got a lot of thick clouds coming in, which is meaning that we might not get a good viewing from this part on the farm, but that's neither here nor there. I also did some research, and I understand it's supposed to be here between 3:15 and 3:20. Either way, we have another full load. We're out in the field, and with all of this manure spreading, obviously a lot of you have some good questions. And I thought this is a great opportunity to answer one of those. With all of this horse manure, first question, why are we spreading it within a year of it being piled up? Why don't we wait for it to rot and basically turn into that rich black dirt over 2, 3, or 4 years? Simple answer, we don't have the room or the storage to handle that much manure. You guys see how much we generate 1 year? Now imagine that doubled, tripled, quadrupled, quintupled. It gets out of hand crazy, and it would take me a very long time to actually spread all of this if we were to wait for 3, 4, or 5 years. That's not the main reason though. The main reason is that we would need a really big storage area with good stormwater management, and we simply just don't have that. We live on mountains. If I were to devote that much land to storage for manure, that means that's a lot less pasture the horses would have, a lot less really anything for anything. So we'd rather spread it in a year, and the benefits of waiting for it to turn into that really rich black dirt aren't really there for us. So it makes more sense in our situation to spread it every year, every spring. Another good question is, why aren't we spreading it on our hay fields for our horses, and why aren't we spreading it on the pasture? The simple answer actually relies in the animal that this is from. This is not cow, this is horse manure. And horses, well, they're not very good digesters. They actually leave a lot of the seeds and pass them through their digestive system, meaning that that manure right there is loaded to the brim with seeds from all different types and varieties of plants. Anything they consumed. It can be anything from the hay that they've eaten, from the grass that they've eaten, to venturing off into the fields when they're on trail rides. Anything that they've eaten, those seeds are in that manure right there. Meaning that if you were to spread this on your pasture and you have no weeds, well, surprise, you're gonna see a lot of weeds showing up because you just spread all those seeds of weeds all over. The more horse manure you spread on your pastures, the worse your pasture is gonna get. And in a bad situation, then you're gonna have to till up the whole pasture or spray the whole pasture and restart from scratch, and no one wants to do that. The same thing applies for our hay fields. We work really hard at keeping those weeds out of there. So if we were to spread that horse manure on that field, well, that'd do the exact opposite. We don't spread cow manure either, purely because it would blanket all the grass and really prevent a lot of it from coming up nice in the spring. So all the manure gets spread on the fields that we have grain crops. You guys know the veggie boys probably pretty well. None of the manure is spread on the vegetable ground because a lot of that food is used for human consumption. So that changes things when you spread manure on it. So that means that all the manure, if it were spread on vegetable ground, it would need to be spread like this and then plowed or tilled under, so that the top part of the field was safe for humans to consume the food. Which is a nice reminder that if you ever buy a vegetable from a store, no matter how clean it looks, remember to give it a good wash before you eat it. So all of the manure that you guys see that we spread gets spread on grain crops. Crops that it's okay for that manure to be like this. It's okay for it to absorb into the ground, and we are okay with having those weeds there because of the weed management things like cultivating the ground when the crops start coming up. Long-winded answer, but there you go. That's an answer for why we don't spread it on horse pastures or in hay fields. Don't get me wrong, horse manure is awesome, and it's great to have a natural fertilizer that you can put down on your field. But just like everything, you have to be wise with how you use it. So that's actually pretty cool. I don't know if it's coming through on camera, but the clouds have covered the sun enough that I'm actually able to see part of the moon kind of coming up over top of the sun. This is cool. I can see it. Oh, it's about to completely disappear from my view. Yep, there it went. I had it there for a few seconds. That's cool. So this is pretty cool. If you could tell, it's getting darker, almost like it's evening time. but it's not. The 90% coverage we're supposed to get is gonna happen in 15 minutes. But if you look over that way, past the manure pile, you see it's really dark over there. I guess that's where they're currently experiencing the solar eclipse. And then if you look that way towards Maine, you notice that it's just overcast. And it's just slowly getting darker. You can literally just feel it getting darker. It's pretty cool. I'm honestly not gonna lie, this is pretty sweet. You know, spreading manure during a solar eclipse. Can't think of a better activity. Pretty cool stuff. You know, if I didn't know any better, I'd just think that it was like way later than it actually is. That's literally all I'd think until I looked up, and then, you know, then I'd understand what's going on. That being said, you guys may be curious how the horses are handling things, and the answer is very fine. They don't care at all. They're not interested. They're not acting different. There's literally no change in behavior at all. I kind of thought maybe all of them would go up to the barn to get turned in, because they'd think that it's later than it actually is. Not even that's happening. Literally, they're not even, there's no change at all. I mean, I guess that's a good thing, right? But I'd rather them be like calm than manic. It's getting pretty dark out there. I would classify it like a really bad thunderstorm dark. There you go. Now we've got 3 minutes till it's supposed to be like 90% coverage here, but that's what it looks like outside. Just clouds everywhere, as far as the eye can see. What I'm thinking is I'm probably gonna be able to spread this load, and then it'll be 310 to 315, during which I'm just gonna hop out of the tractor and just kind of be outside, because you know, why not? We're catching up with where we ran out last time. Here we are. Oh, it's 3:09. Well, all right. Let's get out and see what we're gonna see. Just gonna pause it here. Wow. Well, that's a bummer, huh? It's cool, you know, it's like eerily dark is the term I'd use. I don't see anything though, it's just clouds. I stand corrected, it's 315 to 320 is the 90% coverage. But I also want to point that there's Daniel spreading fertilizer. We're both spreading fertilizer. He's just spreading a different kind. And the solar eclipse happens in 3 minutes. I'm not gonna speak for Daniel, so I don't know if he's gonna come over and hang out with me for the solar eclipse, or if he's just gonna keep on keeping on. I don't know. You can't see nothing though. The clouds aren't letting you do it at all. Nothing at all. I just can't get over that during the solar eclipse, there just happens to be 2 tractors in the same spot of the farm. Go, 40 seconds. Boom. There it is, 90% solar eclipse. Pretty cool. I'm probably gonna watch videos of people that probably devoted their entire day to filming this, so I can see kind of what it looks like. But there you go. This is what it's like from a stable life. Living through history. Exciting times. It's so dark. Dark enough that I'm pretty confident people are probably having their lights on if they're driving. And hopefully no one gets in an accident. I could see people looking up while they're driving a car, not thinking. In case you were curious what he was fertilizing wheat fields. Wheat fields. Wheat. Pretty awesome. I think back to the times when we didn't have 4 tractors. Actually, we have 5, because Veggie Boys have 4 and I have 1. I would be using the 110 right now, and either a skid steer loader or the 130, more accurately the 130, leaving them 1 tractor. And now they have access to 3 tractors while I'm doing this. They have access to their loader and their skid steer loader, and they have access to the 100, the 110, and the 130. So kind of awesome. Wow. So this is what it looks like during the total solar eclipse. I should say during the 90% solar eclipse. Really gray, kind of ominous everywhere. Right over there is where the sun should be. It's really dark. Okay. That's that. There we go. Full load of manure spread during the solar eclipse, and you guys got to enjoy it with me. Kind of cool. It's so dark that I'm tempted to put on the lights, but I just know it's going to start getting brighter, which is going to be kind of neat. But man, it's dark. And Daniel and I are in tractors. Can't make this up. I'm turning the lights on. We're doing it. Oh yeah. Look how good it looks when it's lit up. So good. I just wanted to point out that Daniel turned his lights on as well. I can turn all mine on. There we go. Now we're fully illuminated. See if he'll do the same. No, he'll probably turn them off now that I got him on camera. There we go. Lights look good on the 120. I also thought that I would show you guys that the horses actually have started doing something. They're all kind of just walking around the pastures together, all of them. So I'm walking on over here to show you. When I was driving down in here with the tractor, they were kind of like all trotting together. Nothing really crazy, just pointing that out. And the middle field does not care at all. Not even remotely at all. Nothing. I can actually start to feel it getting brighter now. I haven't even gotten to the main pile yet. Man! On the plus side, we have from there to there done. I'm not gonna talk about that yet. Look at all the poo water. Oh my, that was a lot of spreading. Well, I don't know if you guys can believe it, but it is already 6 p.m. and I'll show you in a bit, but I still have a lot of manure to do. I have just got to the main pile, the biggest pile that's there. I just got to it. As for spreading and fields, this field is now completed. So this is it. This field's fully spread. We're gonna be moving to the field that's a little bit further away. So yes, sadly, that does mean it is gonna take us a little bit more time to get out with a load and back with a load, but hey, we need to put it where it needs to be, right? I could keep going. I recognize that these nice modern pieces of equipment have lights, both front and back, and I could work far into the night, and honestly, probably could get this pile mopped up by about 11, 12 o'clock. Maybe 1 o'clock in the morning, depending on how things go and making sure we have no breakdowns. But I am going to go home. I'm going to enjoy a good meal with my wife. The manure is important to get spread, but my family's far more important. So that's where I'm going to be spending my time for the evening. So let's get this equipment parked and then head on home and start things off tomorrow with a whole nother video and a whole nother topic and a whole lot of excitement. Oh yeah, good stuff. Well guys, I'm gonna leave my tractor to hang 10 in the pasture overnight. It won't do it any harm sitting out for one night, which also means that I'm not gonna be able to show you guys what's left of the pile, but don't worry, you'll see what's left in the next video. Got a lot done today though, that's for sure. Yeah, it's crazy to think this is the 4th day of spreading manure. Everything's working nice and good though. We'll take this on back and park it. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching the solar eclipse with me. And, well, what little we did see anyway. If you haven't, don't forget to hit that like button and make sure that you're subscribed. Keeps you up to date on all future videos. And if you're really enjoying the videos, consider joining the Sunny Knoll family. Tap that little join button after you've subscribed. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.